What's up, guys, and welcome back for another Eve Sheets episode. We're going to be covering a simple manufacturing log in this one. Now it's going to be using Janus market data, and you're going to need your broker and your sales tax from game. So watch, if you don't know how to do any of that, watch the first episode, and I show you how to pull your broker fee, your absolute broker fee and sales tax out of the game, and also show you how to set up the API for Janus market data. So really quick, we're going to just kind of work left to right here, and the purpose of this spreadsheet is to essentially kind of simulate runs and look for good margins if you were going to sell them, and it helps you get a good idea of what you can build. Now you can go ahead and pre-populate this with all the BPOs that you have and everything. And a couple of notes here, you'll notice that some of these fields are like kind of a darker font. And what I do here is, and just this is like a mental note for me, any field or cell that is dynamically generated from a function or a calculation, I always darken the font color there, so I can just make sure I don't override it with manual inputs. So the white fonted cells are stuff that I need to type in and things like that. So we're just going to kind of work from left to right here. So the first thing you're going to want is you're going to want a run count, and then material cost, and then job cost. Material cost, I showed this in the first episode, but you can go, when you're looking at the manufacturing window, you can actually go in there and look at the materials, and you can select buy all, and then when that buy all window populates, you can go to the top right and copy to clipboard. And I usually just take that to Janus, and then I grab the total buy order value, and I'll put it in there, because normally if you were going to just acquire materials, you'd acquire them through a cheaper means. So buy order would be like your best bet there. Job cost is going to be a summary of everything, like it's going to be the index, manufacturing index, and all that stuff. So I just take that total amount and I plug it into here. So for instance, if our manufacturing cost is we'll say 5,000 for materials, and then it's like 700 for job costs, then we can put those in there. And then this field is a total. Essentially what it's going to do is it's going to take material cost plus job cost, and then it's going to times it by the number of runs, and that's going to give you a total here. And so this is going to be your product. This is what's actually going to be produced from the BPO, and then you're going to want a quantity / run. So for instance, on a Mars shuttle, you're going to get one shuttle per run, whereas like fuel blocks, one run would be like 40 blocks. So you want to make sure you have the quantity per run correctly put into here. And then you have your sale price. This is going to take the Janus stuff here. So essentially what we're doing here is we're taking an index, we're getting the Janus pricer, we're grabbing the immediate price, the sell price of the Mars shuttle, and we're basing it off of the Jita market, and then we have our cash buster in there as well. And then what we're going to be end up doing here is we're going to times that by the quantity per run, and then times that by the number of runs. So if we increase these runs over here to 10, then it's going to increase this field here proportionally. I'm going to set it back to 1. And then your broker fee is going to be it's going to basically be the sell price times the decimal value based on your skills and everything, and your reputation and all that stuff. So you can pull that all out of game. And I show how to do that in the first episode and everything. So for me, it's 0.014771. The more digits you put in there, the more accurate this will end up being. And then the sales tax is basically the same thing. We're taking the sell price times the percentage of your sales tax based on your skills and all that stuff. So for me, on my main, it's 3.6%, so 0.036 on that one. And then the total is the same thing. We're taking the sale price minus the broker fee minus the sales tax, and that gives us our total. So even though our sale price is 20,000, our total after the sales tax, broker fee, and all that ends up being like 18.9. Now the profit window here, the very last window, is essentially going to be the total for the sale minus the total for the manufacturer, and that gives you your profit here. Now these are green because I have this set up for conditional formatting. You can select all of those, go up here to format, go to conditional formatting. So what I have here is if it's greater than 0, then I have the custom format there for that, and then I have less than or equal to 0, and then have the custom format for that. So I can just very quickly see if it's profit or not. Then you can also select, when you get all this in, you can select the whole thing, and you go to data. You can go here, it'll say create data filter, and that's what's going to add all this stuff in. So as you start kind of populating this with your different BPOs, you can sort ascending or descending based on profit margin, so you can very quickly see what is more valuable to, or what's higher profit, or you can see, sort it by what is a higher sell price, or whatever the case may be on that. So this is a very simple one, and usually if I'm just doing very low level manufacturing, a simple manufacturing log is great. You can kind of piddle with this. Once you populate with all your BPOs, you can kind of piddle with this and kind of see, based on current market prices, what's valuable to kind of sell or build to maximize your returns and everything. You can go a lot more complicated than this. You could actually break the job costs down to all of the sub fees and stuff like that. But I find that as accurate, you can get that pretty accurate, but it's a little bit too much work if you're doing low level stuff. If you're doing like some crazy like capital construction, then you can kind of break all that down. But even like if I'm building capitals, this usually is good enough to let me kind of get a good indicator of what is going to be worth building, worth moving. So like for instance, I know off the top of my head, I don't know what the job cost for the minor one would be, but I know, for instance, I want to say the material cost was like 15,000. So it doesn't even matter what the job cost here is for the minor one. It's going to be a profit loss, which is unfortunate. Now you could build this at scale, and you could take it out to somewhere that is kind of away from trade hubs. You could probably try to like squeeze some profit out on it. But things like this, I mean, you're better off just either like if you're around a trade hub buying them, but if you're also kind of in a wormhole, then you're kind of building minor ones yourself, or you're building minor ones to feed into invention to eventually build minor twos. That's kind of like why the price difference on this is really bad. Mostly because like minor ones are just built essentially for invention for the most part, and you don't even have to research this BPO to do invention. You can just kind of get the data chips and stuff like that, and that's why this is like very valuable, because then we can quickly see that minor ones are not going to be worth building, but like ventures and the shuttles will have a good profit margin on that. So very simple manufacturing log. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.